right, everybody, let's get right to it. How's everyone doing today? Get it going on a Tuesday. What's the news, chat? Hanging in for the big announcements this week. Should be a lot of fun. Market is itching up. Yesterday was a one-day thing. No biggie. Big shout out to the chat. And a quick note, no show Thursday. Sorry, folks. I have to be out for Thursday. So we'll get it back next week and full swing. One of the things I did want to mention, hey, I've got a presentation coming up. It's a good size one. It's over at Elliott Wave Hub, and register that. It's free, of course, and so I'm the last speaker on this thing. Go over, click the link. Hey, there's Jody Samuels. She's hosting it, Elliott Wave Hub, and you got some really great people there, including Todd Gordon from CNBC, who will be preceding me. I'll follow him. I'll follow Todd Gordon. So, hey, I'm honored, Todd. But join me. That's February 16th, 5 p.m. Well, we're here at the end of the month. That's right. And where do you end the month and where do you begin the month? At harmonictrader.com. Become a basic member. Register now. All new members, especially those just joining us, you go to the basic membership page and everything is there. Also, gold members, those people that have subscribed or purchased the software, check out all that information, please. I know a lot of you are not in tune with that. We're with a lot of information on the gold and basic members pages, so check that out. Great to see everybody in the chat. What's going on? Here for a Tuesday. Want to talk about Bitcoin. Want to get into really what is slowly developing here. Bitcoin in a clear harmonic pause. And we don't know that going in. Listen, we lay out the framework and we see how it responds. Bitcoin has held firm on the top end of the big pattern. We have been analyzing, and with our new yellow dot available on Harmonic Pattern Collection, get that now. If you're not using the dot, folks, it's really easy. If you're subscribing or you're a new trial, go in and to the invite only scripts and just reload the HSI arrows and it'll be in there. So I do want to talk about Bitcoin because of what is happening within the 30-bar window. Enough time for me has transpired to lay out some scenarios that we should kind of be prepared for. This really, back on the 14th was when it hit that 886 off the bat, and we could start there right at terminal bar for a 30-day window. And you tell me, okay, until the 13th of February, this is still in a type 1 window, but seems to be failing. The definitive fail is a close above 23.9. Above 24,000, you get something bigger going on. I'm surprised. I think I was probably dissuaded due to all the nonsense, but we still have that big crab pattern that really, it at 21,000 just seemed like a dud, and really was. I mean, take a look at from that crab pattern, which is amazingly still just a 1618. Off of last year's rally to all-time new highs. There's terminal bar, and check out how many days we are since there. 233 days since that pattern completed, and still plenty of time off of that. What else? What other possibility could be above these levels you're starting to run out? I mean, where you could try to go into a reaction. You could try to do some kind of extended move, but at least it's holding in there. Even if it goes sideways, well done. Nice start to something. I still say altcoins are the place to be. I think if you're going to go crypto, I think you want to continue to speculate in all of the altcoins that were clipped 90 to 99% off their all-time highs, because just in a natural rebound flow, they're going to keep running. I'll go through my top 5 in a second, but Bitcoin is the one to watch. I think Ethereum as well, but Bitcoin is already trying to show that it wants to possibly exceed this area. You've held every major daily pivot low of the last 10 days. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I don't have a position. I have a little Bitcoin, but nothing huge. Not like other positions. I mean, I have some altcoin positions that are still in development, as we say. But this is the proposition. Is Bitcoin going to break that uptrend line within the pattern and it's kind of delayed reaction? I think with the yellow dot and some of the other definitive things we're trying to draw out here, you just don't give it much room. And I'll say, hey, something larger is going on above these levels. Clearly a pause. It's what is unusual about what's going on here is that the type 1 failures are unusual. To bypass a really clear zone like this and then get confirmation, okay, it is unusual. Usually we get some kind of reaction off of the zone, but this one, no, hits, pause for 5 days and continue higher. There's our confirmation for the first time, 23.6. I was looking as high as like 22.9 and no response, no reaction. No 3-bar breakdown either. So I think it's just a lukewarm environment to continue speculating into other crypto. And things like, well, before I go to some of those, let's go through the top 5. Because I think Bitcoin, definitely now number 1. Number 2, Ethereum. Much the same deal. This has got a few, this has got back-to-backs. It's got, there's your bat pattern. Currently with a yellow dot, check back of the yellow dot. I mean, you're scraping 1645, 1650. That's your top end limit for this whole possibility. If it bypasses here and you do break out, I mean, 1761, I think it's not even easy. I mean, it'll be automatic. So really tight. And I say this now more than say a week ago, because think about it. 7 sessions ago is only right there. We have been just kind of waiting up here sideways, 1607. You can't throw it down every time they try to throw it down. All right. We didn't know that back here because we only had a terminal bar. Then we had confirmation, check back, 1, 2 bars. Now you're in your window, and this really firms up. If you're going to get more crypto, it's going to be a pop move. And the fact it's not going down yet suggests that might happen. There's an 1 hour 5-0 bearish pattern, maybe, on Ethereum. That's a nice spot. But again, a lot of them are forming. Look at the patterns here on the hourly on Ethereum. A couple of nice 886 pullbacks after the big run. Even with this current bat pattern, hey, why not a retest? 1665. We see what the markets did this morning and yesterday. Nice reversal this morning off of the pre-market lows. Now up 22. You were down 30. And you were off 120 or 110 from Friday's highs. Okay, a lot of volatility going on, folks. Great for trading. Just be prepared for what I think is going to be a big blow move on this announcement, whatever it is. And I don't think it's down. I don't think the move's down. Despite all of the, everybody's just so worried about inflation, those numbers, the Fed talking nonsense. The charts don't say that. It's definitely something where we're pausing where we should be rolling over. If you continue higher from here, That says the longer term time frames are about to really take control. It's surprising that it's here, but maybe that's what last year was. There's Ethereum on a weekly. Again, we're to the right of the downtrend. Now, clearly making some progress up here. You'd want to see a failure. The other thing you want to see, I would love to see a big weekly blowout levels on HSI and Ethereum, and Bitcoin, but something like this where we go back into the zone. We're trying to pivot now on the weekly. That would be your first bearish registered candle, registered trigger since all the way back in August. But nothing on amplified yet. What you want to see, folks, okay, coming off of this, and this is a bigger, longer term assessment, but we're going to see it. It's going to be clear. Take a look at what happened in 2021. Indicator alone. All right. And this is where your understanding of complex structures in the indicators is essential, because we know that this formation here or that formation there is different than that. That's an impulsive. It's an up and down. This is an M shape in the overbought. Another M shape. What you want to see are the indicator readings to blow out prior levels and just go up and make complex readings as they expand into new price territory. I mean, this is the first one really for Ethereum back in August 20 at 495. Then it broke out, and it broke out not only in price, but in weekly indicator readings, where you go into a serial bar over bar breakout move and you make progress. That's what needs to happen, I would say, into the end of the quarter for Bitcoin, Ethereum. And if you do, well done. Let's go. 382 minimums. That's a lot come in here. You know, you've had a lot come into Bitcoin. I think if we look back what happened last fall with all the cast of characters who went down, they probably had to liquidate, and that was the bulk of them. And they're gone. They're gone. Anybody else that's going to get popped or any other bankruptcy is incremental. S&P is going to new highs for the day, folks. Let me finish up the top 5, and I want to get to a couple stocks. I'm looking at Meta, folks. Definitely want to be buying some Meta into earnings. Amazon's already popping today. Yeah. Hold on, let me pull this over. Snap. We've talked about Snap on the website. That's another. They've got earnings into today. Big patterns. We'll talk about all of that. Let's wrap up with the rest of crypto in our top 5, if you will, with Binance Coin, which I'm probably going to boot to the curb because I think there's better vehicles to pay attention to. I mean, so be it. Maybe these guys are going to survive here. You're hitting close to some resistance. Price hasn't moved that much, but I'll give it the fact that probably held up the best of your top 10 with only a 60% correction. But, you know, if you're a Binance Coin fan, you're going to want to play the breakout above those levels. It doesn't come in until 3:30, but be aware of that. Number 4 is good old Doge, and I think Doge is an example of delayed action now being realized. Doge, we've been talking about the target 2 up at 15 cents off of this big ABCD. It's launching, folks. I own a position in Doge. Got to let you know that. Okay, just be clear. Not shilling, but I'll tell you what what I have. If I have something that's somewhat considerable, it's a somewhat considerable position. More than a small amount, I will say. But with that amount, I'm looking for 1579. Get up there. Target 2. It's a type 2 off that ABCD. At a minimum with longer term possibilities, sure. I'll play it off the daily. What's possible beyond here? Well, it's going to take, I think, quite a bit of time before you could really expect anything major. But I will say this: your long-term chart, your long-term trends, they've broken out. You crack above your 15.74, 15, 16 cents, that opens up larger possibilities, much larger. And you could even do a simple long-term spread here, 382 bear market dead cat minimum reactive bounce to 32, 33 cents. Yeah, I said that. I said that. So it's in a real good shape, and it's to the right of the trend line. The breakout again above where we're looking for the target. So again, that's the thing of having the big ABC. The target is 1579, so we know we're holding for there. But if it's going to blast, it's going to be obvious, and I'll hold. We'll accelerate, ramp up through 16 cents. Otherwise, if we don't and we reject at 16 cents, then that's it. It's over. But get ready. Number 5, XRP. Still, I think because you've got a lot of people interested and so many patterns here, daily, weeklies, this is just going to take its time to wiggle through them all. And guaranteed, as soon as you get that announcement, forget it. I mean, I can't see how this thing does anything but go up after they get that announcement. It's just, what's the right price? Couple of bats, 33 to 35, 36 cents. You're 40 cents right now. And we have a bearish bat that's reacting, but I said this last time, come to target 1 at 37 and then launch and break out and just keep going. Don't look back for XRP. So just be patient with it, charters. Be patient. We are absolutely in a great spot. Not having this thing completely wash out. That's fantastic. I mean, it really is. That was the fear. I think everyone was looking at this thing just to completely collapse, and then there'd be like a string of frauds or a string of, I mean, there was a string of bankruptcies. Hey, you're not getting your money back. But we're probably closer to the end than the beginning, or even halfway. Quick couple of the standouts, things that I consider still in development with phenomenal patterns. I'll stick with this Chili's, even though it hasn't done much, kind of getting rejected off of that daily HSI, but it's still a type 2, 11.5 cents. Keep an eye on that. This might take some time. Still has to break out of that downtrend, but type 2 is there all over the place. Here, Algo. And this one really hasn't popped off like a lot of the others. ABCD at 22. I think the weekly, there's like an 886 down here as well. 20, yeah. It was around 20 cents. But there's a few of them. Here's this anchor. Okay, another type 2 that down around 2 cents, 2.5. It's right basically where it is. The hop was at 2.1 cents. But that's a big type 2 off of a pattern from last summer. Couple of more that stick out in my mind, I think are really, super speculative kind of things that are, I like to call them the T coins, but you don't wait for them to come back on a 4 hour or a 60-minute time frame. Take a look at SHIB, by the way. SHIB had some big dots down there at 8-9 cents, a big 886. I would be here going to 4 hour. Look at this thing since the bottom in January. Keeps continuing to just kind of grind its way higher, and the next level in these last prior bullish supports about 1140. So I expect this stuff. We're seeing a lot of this where you had the thrust last week, and you're in about to continue this thing with a couple of supports underneath it. That's what I find interesting. Um, yeah, Ethereum Classic, ETC, I like those. Yeah, you know what else popped off was that Ethereum name server. There's a 4 hour, pretty nice. But take a look at the patterns here. Bat pattern, Gartley, excuse me, at 2055, right to the bat, come back down. I would say this 2055 is a good area for the Gartley. Get a continuation. Retest, that's a nice one with those patterns. And of course, the daily or weekly time frame. You've got, look, you've got this thing. You got a big bat pattern. And I'm looking at Ethereum Classic because it's a type 1, like all of them. A lot of them either are at bearish pattern completions or they're coming off of big weekly patterns, hitting some resistance, but not going down after, it's been sideways since the 14th. Keep an eye on it. A couple of the other ones that, let me show you that name service. ENS. Another nice pattern. Probably still needs more time, but it was a type 2 Gartley. Almost perfect. Maybe as high as 18 on this move. That's a little late. That's not anything I would say, I'm not chasing that. Just I think the patterns are impressive. The weekly stuff, these kind of charts are just, it's pretty enticing, I gotta say. Let me get the longer history here. Where's my other feed? So just be aware that these lows, the most recent low that it put in January, if you can get above the obvious resistance from like last fall, you're going to start to put in a bottom down here, basing. I still say there's plenty of time. But they've come together. Yes, very good comment. Who said that? Neil with the Phantom. I think Phantom is showing us what's possible. Okay, a little tough to see really the big opportunity, after the thing has rallied. But here's the daily stuff that we were looking at this down at 25, 20. Yeah, this shark that got down to 16, but blew through target one. It was 29. Now it's doubled. What are you going to do there? Probably nothing on this, not one to chase it, other than to realize that this is starting to catch fire a bit. These reactions, getting out of the zones, getting out of real important static lows for crypto, you have to like that. Even if you missed it, you still want to watch this. It's like that, above 40 cents. That's really huge, I think. It's like what we're going to see in the S&P 500, that we crack some levels for the first time in a long time. You're going to get continuation once you do. Path of least resistance. Hey, here's a couple new ones. Okay. Something I started buying a few days ago, last week, and I bought more recently on this. Here's this Harmony one. Down here, where's the weekly time frame? Yeah, a couple of weekly long-term dots down here. Where's my bat? There's a massive bat 886 structure. But another one just, hey, it's 95% off the all-time highs, getting some signals. Harmony 1. So far, so good. And you can wait on that. Listen, wait. You've already pulled back. This was 230, and you're now registering an hourly, or excuse me, a 4-hour continuation, much like you saw back here. And I don't think it takes much. A crack with Bitcoin going above 24,000, these things really then start to run. That's the thought. This one, this OXUSD, where's the weekly? Sorry, maybe I'm confusing that with. No, that wasn't it. That was not it. Oh, it was, here's a couple down here. So we got this Polymath, real super T coin, but again, we're just sitting on the major deep crab zone at basically 16.4 cents. That will take time, but hey, you're real close to a major XA level. You have yet to really pop off, and 50 cents is target one. That's how you look at it. A couple more. Couple more. What was the other one? Oh, here's the other one I wanted to show. It hasn't really popped off yet. Rareable on the daily, if you can get it, but big patterns. 113s at 238. You're trading 215. Small pattern after a big pattern. Couple of dots. That's if you go through your universe of crypto, folks, that's the kind of thing where if you're looking for the big move, and I think Phantom is one to watch for sure, but a little late, you know. Definitely, you might get a pullback and try to capture a continuation, but for things that have yet to go, this is an example of it. Okay, a couple of the ones you guys are popping here. Sure. Martin wants EOS. What's up, Martin? How are you? EOS does have something down there. Oh yeah, look. EOS is, I think it's clearly at ABCD around 90 cents, still only 106. And was it a couple of dots? I mean, you have a lot of things around $1. Just call it $1. This was something that was 16, maybe as high as 20. Yeah, there you go. Different data feed. I can't stand that. But look, another one, EOS. Big patterns, back-to-back patterns, your major zones, your XA level at 101. So again, another one. Thank you, Martin. That's a good one where you're looking for these speculative situations that have not fully developed. There you go. S&P is about to break out again, folks. I don't think this thing stops. I want to get into why it's so important because we had the monthly close. And if we get a strong close today, that'll be huge. Should set it off. So critical. Couple more. Comp is a great one. Who said that? Jeffrey. Comp is a one. There's a few of these that have the massive patterns behind them, did the big moves. There's going to be some kind of pullback on that. Once there is on compound, I think that's it. And this is one of those where the next cycle comes, if it's 3 or 6 months or if it's 18 months and you go sideways in base in here, this is going to be one of the ones that will pop off. Beautiful patterns. And I mean, look at the weekly coming out of a technical hole there. So I like that. You're at 53 right now. I think 47. There's something down here. Hold on. Been looking at that. Well, you have a 4-hour deep crab at the moment, but actually this might be a place where you go for the return off of 52. Anything on a 5-minute down there at 52 bucks? Not really. Not yet. Keep an eye on it. I do like that one. I really do. Couple more. Dash is another one. Yes, who said that? Jewelry Affairs. They posted Dash. I think Dash is one. You go to the weekly, you tell me. That's in beautiful harmonic pattern development type 1 reaction, about to break out of the zone. 3-bar breakout. It's all there. And what is target 1? Do the math. Really, 40. Now 60. 40 was confirmation. XA is at 52.59. But that's a beautiful target 1 in development. Coinbase feed too, by the way. Big pop. Big pop, big pop, big pop. Hold on. S&P's popping. Hold on. Okay, great. Couple more. Let's go to Bitcoin Cash with my buddy Paris. What's happening, Paris? Thanks for the note on LAC. I'll go through that as well. Sorry, I just missed you. What is that? Paris, what did you want? I'm sorry. For somehow I just missed your. I saw it and then I missed it. Oh, it was Bitcoin Cash. Yep. BCH. I think this is another one of these coins that are basing major lows. Whatever these lows are, that should be it. And maybe you have a nominal retest 108, 110, but there's a lot there. Currently on the daily, this is something like all of them flash in these daily patterns you would almost want to see happen. First of all, check out the deep crab at 144. So we know this whole thing's delayed. It's a major kind of delayed basing situation, but I really do hope we could get a pullback, because if it's a type 1 pullback down to target 1 at 114, what you want is, I did this last session, you want the return to then be the breakout, and then it morphs into a big 1618. We got to wait and see on that one. Some of these are, again, many of these are probably too far away from jumping on. You're not going to buy in a bearish Gartley daily zone with confirmation, but maybe we can get a pullback to set that up for the next leg. Not just yet, but I like the long-term aspects of these moves. It's better. It's showing, something behind this now where there was nothing behind it before. I don't know what Mina is. Never heard of that one. I'll take a look. Nothing like a T coin to fill my day. A penny stock, if you will. All right, that's a little tough. Here's Mina on Binance. But I think this is a good example of these patterns that, take a look. Mina was a shark all the way back from November 9. How many days sideways? 55. Before you went to the hop, made new lows 54 days after completing the pattern before you turned around. If you missed that, no problem. But use it as an example for these other T coins that are popping off of what's possible. They're doubling, tripling off their lows once they get going. And if they have patterns behind them, there's a great example of something that is a way to filter out certain markets versus things that have possibilities. You got it. No problem, Justin. Bearish bat on the SPY. I'll get to that in a minute. I'll jump over to the major markets. Couple more you guys want. ICP. I'm looking at ICP in Filecoin just because they've been so devastated. But look at what you have here. It's obvious bearish crab at the hop level at 592. So be it for now. But you did have some of these ugly patterns down here, ICP in the last few months. Look at the back-to-backs. I would expect some kind of retracement off of that deep crab, but this is another one where if you come back to the hop, 434, take a look at that one. This was a dead crypto last cycle. I think this was something that popped in 2018. Yeah, take a look. There you go. I think there's a better chart, more data. Yeah, I don't know. But that's one I'm looking at. The other one was Filecoin. But let them come back down. These were 99%ers. Okay, that do have some things down here. Yeah, look, Filecoin's got this beautiful back-to-back. This kind of reminds me of Compound. And again, I don't know the technology. I don't differentiate if this is a play token or some kind of AI thing, or it's just, for me, extension deep crab pattern followed by a bat pattern, 200 plus days, 250 days sideways, where you're just sticking at 396, 385. You're 525 at the moment. Still under your big levels, like anything under 5 for Filecoin, you're looking. Yeah, and you definitely have not even developed out of the zone yet. So be it. S&P, new highs, plus 32. NASDAQ up 123. Dow up 174. I'll tell you, if this announcement comes in anything positive, you're going to see the mother of all breakouts. The mother of all breakouts. Let's jump over quickly to a couple of the there you go. Metaverse. Here's Mana. Another one that's popped off. Did nothing. Almost looked like it was just, that's amazing. That Mana thing. Full 886. I think it's early. I wouldn't chase that pop, but yeah, you're going to try to do something there. That was a heck of an opportunity at 33. Still only 75, but anything under $1. Amazing that did the 95% correction. Same goes for Sandbox. There you go. Amazing that Mana was a lot lower than Sandbox. Mana got in the 20-cent range. This is as low as 40, but you have some dots down here. I think that was your first move in many. But here's Sandbox. A couple of bullish patterns around 60 cents, 65. You're 73. I think you'll get another shot down here, but maybe they're turning around. Maybe. Last one, YFI. YFI. Oh, YFI as in I. YFI is just this bat pattern. We've talked about that. Slow mover, but beautiful. Basically the ABCD right off the top at 56.94, 5,700. That would be a great structural check back. I'm in no rush, but do look at the weeklies. You're generating patterns left and right on this thing, even on the weekly. That's just that ABCD intermediate, but the software is kicking out some levels that you want to pay attention to. Here's that Zcash. I think I brought this up. Another one, big pattern, did a nice reaction, trying to roll over. It's a crab. Okay, right off of 34.66, slow to develop. I would keep an eye on this thing. Maybe a retest of that 40 level, but that would be it. And I think this is something that, once it starts to pop off, like a lot of those other ones, there's a plenty of room to run. They're going to take time. I think with all of your crypto, you want to get to March. You get to March, then you start the countdown. Everyone is going to say, oh, it's halving. We're going to have it. Bitcoin's going to have its halving in 2024, March. Get ready. And then it's on. FOMC announcement is coming in. That's what's about to happen. Okay, let us jump over to the SPY, S&P 500. A couple of things developed just since Thursday where we know the deal. It's a type 2 shark pattern. We have yet to get our confirmation, and we were looking for a second bearish candle. Yesterday was one. But check out what's going on. We just generated our first amplified overbought reading 2 days ago. We want to monitor that, but it's heading back in. And as I said before, some of the longer term metrics like weekly HSI has a couple of readings where we're holding above 50. We're trying to make a run up again to hit another exhaustion point, overbought point. And even if we check back that last weekly signal, which we see these, that's still 415. These are minimum. All of that really critical on a retest structurally, even if you were bearish. And a lot of people are extremely bearish. There are a lot of big names, continue to sell, what have you. So I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them until we hit these higher levels and register some other signals. It's not there yet. It hasn't been there yet since the last couple of retests, the weekly and the dailies. Been a perfect 1-2. October, we know the deal. It was a retest. Did a nice steady 2.0 extension up to 406. Perfect type 1. Now we're back for the type 2. And we know the type 2s take time. And let's say this thing falls out of bed tomorrow. Then the breakdown would only be the first step in the process. I mean, you did scrape some minimum levels on Friday, a terminal bar retest, but it's not there. It hasn't fully confirmed yet. I'm looking. If you go to some of the other charts as well, we've got some higher levels to consider. Let's look at the Qs. They've been structurally, they're better with what they had on the daily to deal with. And much like S&P, we still haven't registered that second bearish candle. This has been ideal. This is a Harmonic Pattern Collection on TradingView, showing the Qs daily chart type 1. See the dot. Okay, the dot's there, checks back. Perfect type 2. I mean, perfect. There's another dot. On the type 2, we are planning for and targeting target 2. That's 305. You're 293. Now, we still haven't seen a yellow dot here. We did get an HSI, but that came in a little bit lower than we like. I mean, even before the dots, we were saying for that retest, for especially types 2s, we want them between target 1 and target 2. Retest confirmed. Come on back up. I think really 305 is, puts you into a spot that is, brings it all together. Until then, take a look. HSI with amplified here are the two things we will watch, and that's probably going to register into tomorrow. If you continue higher, that will send amplified back into the overbought zone. I think it's early, more because of these weekly targets. And check this. So if we're going off the weekly, and maybe it's been a little while since we've looked at this, of the butterfly pattern that formed at 263 on the weekly off of the top, has target one at 311. And this has done a sweet type one. You had the reaction, you retested, successfully held 263. That kind of a thing with the obvious target where 311.54, you have a prior HSI somewhere around 320, better frames out the possibility than a complete tank from here. And I think a lot of people are worried about that, but they're all worried about that trend line. Well, where are you? You're really thrusting that trend line. And if you're gonna fail that, or if that's gonna be a turnaround, it would have to basically collapse this week. That would be a fake out last week, and then you go back down. But no, I'm more of the opinion here, we're still in reactive phase, so be it. I think 311.50, 320 on the Qs at least puts a little something under the market for you. And we know the deal on all of the major stocks that we have talked about. Check out Amazon. How are we doing? I mean, major weekly patterns here. And we've been talking about the dailies, but there's a 2020 bat pattern. Big bat pattern. COVID correction to the bat. 122.39, folks. Just a lot here. A lot here that says we're in reaction mode. It's acting like a reaction. So target one should get us higher. That's weekly. Meta is the other one, although really taking its time. I think this is more like a Netflix situation. Beautiful weekly, off the hop level. Nice progress, even though it's just today, you're flashing a bearish candle on the week. You're pausing, you're setting up. Also, take a look. Here's a 5-minute situation with Meta that completed yesterday on the close, which is something I find interesting. Big bat pattern at 146. Got earnings coming up. And I think this pattern could try to be a launch point. That is, it's Wednesday. It's tomorrow, by the way. So definitely understand where you are with those major ones. And it's like Tesla. Tesla was ready to go to 40 for everybody. But now, nope. And Tesla's up big today. Up 580. And you go to the weekly chart. Again, we talked about this last time, but it's a bat, it's a Gartley, it's all of that in between. But still, the point is target one is 221. You're 172. We get this movement here. We get SPY. We get the rest of them continue. After this announcement, you complete that. You go. That would be your end of the quarter target. Most likely. One or two more. Again, the big boys. Microsoft holding firm. This is actually so tough to see if this is a type 1 or type 2 because you did kiss that target at 263. The high there is 263.92. The target one was 263.86. The 886, it's kind of tough to see. It's like this. It's one of the problems with the labeling. We can't do all the labeling. It's at 212. But there's nothing there either way where this is, even if it's stuck in a range bound, 263 has got to be the retest. You go to the daily time frame, you did have a couple of things. Some ABCDs at 220. All of that sets you up where I think another, again, why not target 2? This is a type 2 ABCD. Keep a mind on all of that. Yeah, we'll go to some of those other individual stocks. Stephanie, Daniel's okay. Daniel's just posting some symbols. He has probably thoroughly researched with Harmonic Pattern Collection. So let's just open that back up. Thank you. He's saying TSC, Penn, Fiverr. Ooh, that's probably a good one. There's a lot of those little tech. I know what this is going to look like. A lot of these concept stocks like this Fiverr, my man, way to go. Thank you, brother. Really, I appreciate that. That's a sweet. Oh. Right, so we have to have a talk. Daniel, you're right on with these crap concept tech companies that get destroyed. Much like crypto, they're probably better. 36.11. Should I buy it? I mean, are we kidding me? Hold on. What are some options? Because why not hit options? This is like Snap, everybody. Snap is another one that we've been talking about that. Fiverr. The only thing about Fiverr is 177,000 shares traded. Kind of light, actually very light. But I like those. I know what you're getting at, and I think these are probably great speculative ones that will do huge moves. Here's Travel Zoo. Another one. Doesn't trade more than a couple 100,000 shares. I prefer stocks that trade like 1 million, but you got patterns. What was the other one in your list that was good? FSLY. Fastly. Yeah, Butterfly. Down there at 8. There you go. And how about the weekly on that one? Oh, yeah. Take a look. Huh. That's one of those crazy hop Gartleys with confirmation. Oh, man. I need to copy that list. Thank you. Yeah, Net, Cloudflare. Here's Teladoc, folks. That's moving. Look at Teladoc, right? Teladoc. Here's Snap. So does that look like a bear market to anybody? There's Snap, folks. Earnings are tonight. Okay, disclaimer. I'm long. I am long that. I think 1255 to go back into the zone. Minimum to 16. But this will take a long time. I've mentioned this before, but these are all there. Zoom. I know Victoria's on Zoom. Look at that. Earnings coming up on Zoom, I think in about 3 weeks. Yes, go back there, the 28th. But these are all weekly plays. You see that kind of a thing. You see that kind of a thing. It is, Scary. I can't believe this. Thank you. I don't want to ignore it. I've seen those major patterns before. I'm seeing a lot of these patterns like they had patterns at the 2002 low. Yeah, it's definitely interesting situation. And I like them. Thank you, Daniel. I will personally go through the rest of that list because you have a lot of things going on there. Real nice. Okay, someone wants to look at Travelers. That's one of our 3 ideas. I was going to update that. Did we get confirmation on that? Travelers was like 195. I don't think we're ready on Travelers. Yeah, I think Travelers was 195. I got to check. But that was from our 3 ideas for gold members. Who said that, by the way? Whoever said that, connect with me on the Discord if you have questions about that. Edward 28. Yeah, yep. Hey, let's look at something that popped off. It's been a little while, but let's look at this Lithium Americas Corp. This one, beautiful pop with the GM investment. Remember the pattern? Remember this? And I do think this was the first one we posted with the yellow dot. It was a beautiful type 2 bat pattern. And target 2, this is why we do what we do. There was the reaction, type 1, all the way back down. We were on this as a 3 ideas back down here. I think at 20, there was the dot, maybe 19. I got to look at it. It's been a while. Really nice. And we did get a yellow dot yesterday. And we start looking, when we get the yellow dot, the way you look at it is you're looking immediately to the right. And you're not supposed to blow it out. So if you're long, that's a good sign. It's a total bypass. Minimum 25.50. Very soon, but 28 is your target. 28.41, you go to target 2 up there. That was a good one. I should have a major update on all of the picks with the 3 ideas quite soon, because there's probably 2 dozen since September, and it's a killer list. Couple more. What do we got? I think I mentioned. Oh, I mentioned in our gold member session some of the bigger stocks, and I'm just going to show one. I showed that crew several, but something that is, again, another one where even the defensive stocks have gotten clipped off of some big patterns. But even now, after the 6-week correction, they're flashing some real nice patterns. Pepsi is a forever stock for sure. It's down 10% off the highs, and you triggered yellow dot confirmation. 170, 150 is the 886. You're trading 169.88. Looking for a type 1 to 177. Beautiful example there of a well-traded, slow-moving stock. You're not going to get the monster swings like the tech stocks, but that's something that trades real smooth. So I would be looking in this area. 169 pretty much is a fair game for this thing to get out of the zone. Amplified RSI coming out of the zone as well. Nice shape. I mean, hey, is it bearish or bullish? Is the pattern green or red? S&P popping up again. A lot going on here. One or two more. Let's look at Netflix. Netflix, after this big correction, check this out. On the hourly, we're registering a high level, couple of bullish 1 hour signals up here at a shark. Okay. Potential for this thing to be failing is substantial. I'm looking at that. I'm looking at stuff like even 5-minute charts, things like this. Nice 5-minute patterns here on Netflix. They're trying to sell it off. Can't do it. 350, really trying to hold on Netflix. And the thought on Netflix is once this thing really started to fire up, it wasn't going to roll over. I thought it could go to 100. No, it went to 180. And we got these weekly signals. But really what's going on here, it's a 5-0 pattern. trace it out like this. You had a really nice, look, big 224 extension. And you could pull it off of a couple other things, but that should get you to a minimum 50% retracement of the correction as high as it was 618. And I'm respecting that strength. I think 450 for Netflix is not a crazy number to be looking out later in the year. So every time this thing pulls back on a 5-minute, 30-minute chart, we want to be looking at this. And I think it's that next pivot number is 350. Couple of more say that as market's popping, market popping up, new highs again. Here we go. What else? What else? Hold on one second. Anything else on a 5-minute, folks? Let's take a quick look at stuff like this. Where is the... want to look at some of the innovation stocks, things like this, 10x Genomics. If you haven't seen this before, this is with all the Cathie Wood stocks, Cathie Ark stocks, or Cathie Wood's Ark here, that they've turned around and they've done the necessary BAM breakouts after. That's like Meta. And you go and look at her, check out Ark, making a lot of progress out of that zone. There you go. That's so early. And these are major patterns. Look, that's massive. Full, completely retested the COVID correction. So you're buying it at 2020 levels. And we know target one. I mean, target one, yes, but even a retest of the static resistance puts you at 46, 47. And might I just kind of give you some highlights of things that have already done that? Those type of stocks, like this Airbnb thing, just pumping. Off the shark. 92 was the big number. Now we're at 110. And these are big patterns down here, and they've also looked massive completion of the IPO cycle. That's one of several of these. I showed you Teladoc. There was one, Coinbase. Of course. Don't sleep. It's up 380 today. These are definitely bigger moves than just a nominal pop. They're, despite all the basing, you're to the right of that downtrend. You have a deep crab that was at 49. That's still support the whole time. Now 60, I think, 90. I've mentioned that. Those are turnaround plays, everybody. Those are big turnaround plays. And the final one in that crypto space, this has been a 3 ideas for us right under $6 or at $6, is Riot. It still is. And Mara and the other ones. You can say the same about a lot of these. A couple more. Looking at any China stocks? No. No, I don't do the China stocks. Nothing personal on them, but I just don't touch them. I really don't. Victoria's saying Robinhood looks good. I think we looked at that as well. These are all speculations. These aren't your J&Js or your Cokes or your Pepsis. Yeah, trying to form a second bottom on Hood. Maybe there's better ones. I do think there are better ones than Hood. But I'm willing to look at these big bases because that's definitely what you want. Here's Roblox. That's another one of these. Basing after, getting devastated. Oh, I know the other ones are. It's Square and it's Shopify. There's Block. Starting to make progress. It was as low as 45. Again, a little overextended, but you go to the weekly. The weekly charts are telling you, hey, we've done our work down here. We did 30 weeks sideways with confirmation, and we couldn't go any lower. So for Block, target one. I mean, again, these are going to be long-term objectives, but we pop, we follow through, we blast off, which is the only thing left to do. Okay, this is where all of these go. If we go down on this stupid announcement, okay, because it is stupid, it's just going to take more time. I'm really not too concerned. I would be looking at these things. If they come back for a retest against these levels, it's going to be a gift. Because you've got the big ones. Here's PayPal. PayPal's another one. These are all the stocks that were fly highers, flying high flyers, putting in patterns. Earnings for PayPal coming up on the 9th, a week from Thursday. Again, this comes back for a type 2. That's it. You're done. Then you go. But I still say these weekly levels, you've put, in most cases, 30 weeks down here at these lows since last May, June. So that's a starting point where I'm going to be looking for these short-term bullish patterns. You look at the way the markets are popping, you're getting one-day sell-offs, and then you're rebounding. Go. Keep going. That's what you want. Couple more. Take a quick look here. What are we doing? Yeah, okay, Lucid, Martin, that gets to something I wanted to point out, where we have a lot of these meme stocks. Now, Lucid did have a big pattern down there. It's at 1181. The way I would be looking at this, and I did notice this crossing the tape where it was popping crazy. Look, amazing at 628. I had confirmation. The bigger move and the bigger opportunity is $8, 798, and then go. And I think with that kind of setup with a type 2, yeah, that then you could get a mania behind it with the retest. And that is like Best Buy, which despite everything they're telling you out there, there's an opportunity coming up on this Best Buy. It's there you go. It's this weekly down at the hop level. And we're retesting that last dot right now at 209. Okay, you want to play the meme mania, get it on there. It's around 210, 209, and we've already seen a couple of big pops, and it's to be traded. If it pops from 2 to 4, you sell it. But that's really what's down here. There's a crab too, 250 area. Don't sleep on these. I know they sound stupid, but why bother with this garbage? Because I do think you're going to see this go into another kind of pop-off phase with these kind of patterns down here. And if we can get the market to do something, what do you think is going to happen? So listen, line it up. Gone through, 15 or more? We've seen what's happened with things like Netflix and Tesla. Expect that to go on with like Amazon here. Amazon or Meta. That's Thursday. Meta's tomorrow. Snap is today. Get those lined up. Okay, let's not shy away from natural gas and crude oil. What's Boyle? Boyle's been a disaster with the shark at the 113 on the daily at 849. And you're $1 underneath there. I just can't even believe this is happening with nat gas, because nat gas had a butterfly, at 355, and it's now 267. There you go. I'm really surprised we're down here. It's remarkably oversold. But if you go to the weekly, we need a bullish weekly candle. Hello, we're 9 weeks down. Yeah, like 9 out of the last 10. And I'm just going to sit out. I'm just going to wait on that because HSI went back into the zone on the weekly. You need some time on that. I do think there's going to be an opportunity here. I would love to try to buy Boyle. I tried to buy Boyle once already and got stopped out. And down here at this $8 level, all right, let's not dismiss it like we've dismissed a lot of other situations that got pummeled like this, but we need one weekly candle. This is if you're long it, I would hold on. Be patient with this. Nat gas, I think it just got so overdone, over leveraged, combined with the record heat in Europe that they weren't expecting. That's the story behind it. But you also have this with crude oil, and crude oil continues to weigh on the whole energy scenario. Also with the big patterns, there's light sweet. 73 is the bat off of the 2022 low here. Okay, no progress. We're how many? You're over 30 days since that low. There you go. We're 45 days in. You had this HSI that generated up at around $80, and that's capping it clearly for now. We didn't even get. Did we get a check back? No. 82.22. We did get a check back. So you're one more bearish candle away from actually signaling bearish continuation on crude oil. But we're not surprised because of this. Because of the weekly and the monthly. Look, weekly bat is here. Down here. And the other thing that since the 886, okay, that 886, the all-time 886, we've said this, that a minimum 382 could bring you back as low as 65. I think that is still possible. I think as this year progresses and crude oil doesn't go anywhere, that's probably what's going to happen. You're going to roll down lower into this hop zone and maybe trigger something down here. Crude oil is not, after being the best performing sector last year, I mean, very well could go back to being the worst. So nothing yet. And the big patterns for XLE, maybe now they roll. There's big, here's the monthly, because that's where it's at. Look, big monthly crab on XLE. And we triggered up here. We're checking back. You were still 1 month away. That's what we said. We said earlier in the month. We were still one bearish candle away. And I would not be jumping in front of energy stocks with that kind of situation. I would think type 1 reaction. But crude oil has to drop hard for that to go. All right, one or two more. WD, yeah, I know that one. Warner Brothers. Daniel's got a few more. So Warner Brothers Discovery. I think these streaming things, yeah, they are. I think they're an opportunity. You look at Paramount. You look at, they've been crushed. It's an all-time 886 anyway. And again, sometimes it's this easy. Sometimes it's just a recognition of disaster. 1237, all-time 886, a 382 bounce. Sometimes it's that easy. And, the devastation's been done. In my opinion, devastation's been done. You look at all of these that we've gone through, these big high flying stocks, and the fact that a lot of them have the well-known stocks are still holding, Pepsi, Caterpillar, still holding close to their all-time highs, leads me to think that it's going to take more time, but you're trying to bottom. Forget tomorrow, forget the Fed and everything. Let's get to this other chart that is critical. And this affects crypto and everything because once this interest rate gag is given up, and I say gag because I'm starting to think maybe it's just a big gag. Here's the monthly 10-year yield. Take a look. It's a type 2 shark. We just generated a yellow dot. Okay, we're generating it. We're going to generate it on the close today. Couple of ABCDs, but again, it's a type 1 at 3.572% yield. We got as high as 4%. We know that this is going on your daily situation. You have a type 2 bat pattern, okay, with confirmation. So whichever way this breaks off, you go down, it's a total fail, interest rates are done. If not, then you go up one more time for a type 2. You're stretching out though, you're pausing. And this is the thing that, like crypto on the top side, this now at support, you're starting to run out of time. You're getting into that 10, 15 bar limit that you need to start going up, not down. And within 30 bars, where are you? Because there's no room underneath 337 and above 357, 358 is where it probably breaks off. Regardless, I just think this with not only the daily, the monthly, the weekly sitting here at a hop level. Now we know the bat pattern's up here. So 366 resistance. It's done a beautiful inflection. Really the only thing holding it up here is this temporary HSI signal on the weekly trying to form, and it hasn't even formed. That yellow dot is forming. It will not form until the close this week, and it has to be bullish. So what's that tell you about the announcement tomorrow? Yep. That if it's down a little bit, I mean, you don't have that much to go to trigger that scenario. HYG, that's a favorite of hedge funds. Okay, hedge funds pile a ton of money into this vehicle. A ton. Bearish bat. Bearish bat. All right, so keep an eye on that. Because if yields go up, this will go down. You see it. I mean, this was it's just an amazing performer on your weekly chart. There you go. Take a look. The whole last decade. Monthly. There you go. Monthly, you've got some continuation signals here, but incredibly, this chart never got totally wrecked. That still suggests the trend in rates is lower. Okay, with that maintaining not only with confirmation, but at the low end of that trend, of that monthly trend channel. And you're doing a 3-bar breakout. What's the last month? 76.30. You're 76.13. We're going to have to come back here on next session and really dive deep into these monthly closes, because the monthly closes are so tight that if they can crack above last month's, that will trigger technical follow through. That's crypto, that's everything. One or two more. Man, you got so many good ones. I'll just go off of what you put here. What's GTHX? G1 Therapeutics. Well, hey, I will say this. For all of these kind of therapeutic healthcare, blah, 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 they've all done some big patterns. I don't know about that one, my friend, but this is one, and this is courtesy of our esteemed member, Richmond Flowers. Hey, buddy, look at your Editas medicine, and it was because of you I brought this up at $8. It's now 10. It had a perfect dot hop at 813. We were on the phone with that one. And that's perfect. Get you up to target one, $13. James Island with water. That's that water ETF, isn't it? The alkaline water level. Oh, give me some penny delight. Here's some penny love for everybody. The Alkaline Water Company. All right, 25 cents. Speculate if you would like to. Buyer beware, but here you go, my friend. Weekly perfect HSI dot shark type 2, because look, that 886 was all the way over here. Now it's down to the 113 at 18. All right, I like that. And look, I don't want to go too much on that, but there are a ton of these penny stocks. Here's this Blue Apron. I think I mentioned this before. Look, weekly ABCD. You just have to ask yourself, is it going out of business? Because if it's not going out of business, there's a pop here. Daily Butterfly on your Blue Apron. Trading at $1. XA is at 143. Hop level was at 62 cents, has held firm. But there are a lot of these. Definitely. JT, check out what we just said about Boyle. Boyle, we're still looking at $8, but it's going to take time. Check out about 10 minutes ago. We got through that. I like these. I like to, pop off on some of these speculative plays. Here's a speculative play that I was in and out of. I'm already out. BTBT. All right. Hit target 1 at 115, as high as now at target 2. There's your yellow dot, but beautiful pattern. So maybe that's some homework for everybody. Come on back with your favorite pennies, your penny plays with beautiful patterns. If you don't have the software, please get on Harmonic Trader Basic Members page and get signed up with the trial here for TradingView and the other ones. So the other platforms, we should be able to get the yellow dot pretty soon on those platforms. Give me another couple of weeks. I'm going to talk to the man himself, get a timeline. Acoustis Technologies from our esteemed member Richmond Flowers. Couple of dots. Yeah, all right. Not bad. I think I like this one, Eli Lilly, better, folks. Oh, with that stupid... Yeah, they had that crazy open. They never fixed it. So there was a glitch in the system a couple days ago on a lot of NYSE stocks that put in these crazy candles. And I don't think they're going to change it. It screwed up a lot of patterns, quite frankly. But hop level at Eli Lilly, 335. I was looking at that before. It's kind of screwed up now, though, unfortunately. So that's, just get ready. Let's see how it shapes up tomorrow. Again, and the rest of the week with the earnings, the plays that are coming out, just go through your earnings calendar, line up patterns. Join me on the Gold Members, everybody, and on Monday, we'll be back there. No session Thursday. I'll be at the happiest place in the world, so that should be a good time. But until next Tuesday, everybody, have a great one. Get with harmonictrader.com, and also join me on the 16th for that presentation. Everything is here on the Basic Members, And then on Twitter, go here. All right, and join me for the 16th. Well, that's a freebie. Until then, everyone, have a great one. As always, go get them. We'll see you next week. And if you have any questions, reach out to me here on the Discord. Great one. Thanks, everybody. Take care. We'll see you next time.